Angela 11 on the way, but it's time now for The Real World with Lee Anderson and the flag-waving fanatics over at Pink News. Must have thought they'd got the better of Rishi Sunak this weekend as they shared this leaked clip of him supposedly mocking trans people.
Davey has been very busy. Like me, you were probably seeing that he was busy trying to convince everybody that women clearly had penises. And I was reflecting, you all know I am a big fan of everybody studying maths to 18. But it turns out that we need to focus on biology to 18 as well.
Unsurprisingly, most of the country heard honesty rather than mockery from the only party leader in the country that seems to know what a woman actually is. Meanwhile, after a secondary school teacher at Rye College branded a pupil despicable for refusing to accept her classmate identifying as a cat, Number 10 hit back with a spokesperson for the PM blasting, "It's important parents and carers are reassured that children aren't being influenced by personal views of those teaching them. Any example that strays from this would be wrong and we expect head teachers to act." So, Lee, as the gender wars continue to sweep Britain, are the Conservatives the only party to fight back?
Well, it would appear so, Dan. I mean, we've got a Prime Minister who knows the difference between a man and a woman. The opposition leaders clearly don't know the difference between a man and a woman. And now we've got children in schools in the country presenting as cats.
What's that about?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So, if one of my kids, when they were younger, came home and presented as a cat, what I would do, Dan, is I would give them a bowl of kitty cat, a saucer of milk, then at 10:30 at night, they'd be kicked out of the house and say, come back at about 6 o'clock in the morning. And then when they want to go to the toilet, they'd use a litter tray. And I'll tell you what, when Mum and Dad's going away for a fortnight to Greece or Spain in the summer, you're going in a cattery. I'll tell you what, like that, they wouldn't be a cat, they'd be a child again. Absolute nonsense.
So you can't buy into this madness, can you?
That's what it is, it's madness. It starts in the home and it continues in the school. These teachers that are pandering to this bloody woke nonsense.
Lots are.
We need a conversation with these teachers. They should not be allowed near children. Yeah. A child is a child. It's not a cat, it's not a donkey or whatever they want to be. This is just absolute nonsense.
Well, and the thing that was so unfortunate, I thought, about the incident at Rye College, as I listened to the full exchange between the teacher and the two Year 8 girls, and they were saying, look, we're tolerant, we don't have an issue with anyone, but we also just believe in science and we believe that there are two sexes, you know, you're a male or a female. And the teacher said that was despicable and they should go to another school as a result.
The despicable thing in this conversation, Dan, as a teacher, and thank goodness for these children kicking back, thank goodness for this recording. This recording now, I think it's gone viral on the internet, and more children will see this, more school children around the country, and they'll start kicking back.
It's interesting. Do you agree with Priti Patel, who says left-wing ideology is starting to indoctrinate our pupils?
Well, that's what it is. It's exactly that. It's left-wing teachers who've got nothing else better to do. What they should be concentrating on is teaching our children how to read and write, you know, and getting through school and getting a good education. Instead of... It's indoctrination. That's what it is. It needs to stop. And like I say, some of these teachers... They're actually doing this. They should not be allowed near children.
Good point. Have a look. Speaking of children fighting back, Lee, the eco-zealots have just stopped oil spent their Monday morning bringing Britain's roads to a standstill once again. But the kids weren't having any of it. I mean, Lee, you know when school kids are saying, just let us get to our classes, that's when they've really lost the support.
Well, this is another example, Dan, of our school children fighting back against this wokery. You know, and I think this is how we tackle it, really. You know, we can do all the things we want in government, in Parliament, with changing the laws, etc. But when you're actually pissing off our school children, and when they're trying to get to school, want to school and get to learn, you know, and progress and get their education, when these idiots are stopping school children and our school children are actually fighting back and saying, no, you're not going to do this, I think we're on a winning here with the kids. It's kid power. Again, fighting back, it's like with the
fighting
nonsense.
Back against the woke teachers.
Exactly.
Fighting back against the eco-terrorists. Maybe, actually, the youth are going to be the ones that save us
maybe
from
us
this.
politicians can learn something from our children. They see it through different eyes. And thank goodness they're fighting back. That's what I say. fair play to them.
Yeah, no, indeed. Now, look, the Glastonbury kicks off this week, the Woke Festival. But we're going ahead without the film Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, The Big Lie, with organisers cancelling the screening of the piece that has been labelled as a conspiracy theory after Jewish rights groups felt it accused them of orchestrating Corbyn's downfall as Labour leader. Now, the producer Platform Film says the documentary explores a dark and murky story of political deceit and outrageous anti-Semitic smears. But actually, Lee, it's fascinating, isn't it, when Corbyn, remember, he was greeted as a hero there a few years ago.
Yeah.
They thought he was the Messiah, the second coming, and even Glastonbury now, even woke Glastonbury says, no, you're too much of an anti-Semite.
Well, he was like a rock star, Dan, weren't he? Just a few years back, they were singing Oh, Jeremy Corbyn. They've sort of turned their back on Jeremy. I bet poor old Jeremy and I sat in his allotment somewhere in London, making his jam, scratching his head, thinking, where did it all go wrong? But, you know, thank goodness. I say thank goodness for Jeremy Corbyn. Without Jeremy Corbyn, I wouldn't probably be sat here today as a Conservative MP for Ashfield. But like I say, they're very fickle, these organisations are. Will they be singing Oh Slippery Starmer over the weekend? I don't know.
Well, apparently it's Ed Miliband who's the star term, but let me tell you, if anyone gets excited about him, they've got to get a life right. Lee, would you ever go to Glastonbury if you were invited?
My son has gone today, actually.
Really?
He's gone on a bus trip. I think they're glamping. They're going to be there till Sunday or Monday. No, Dan, it's not for me. It's just it's a dirty field full of mud, full of teenagers and young
and full
people.
of woke-topians.
Woke-topians, yeah, I couldn't stomach it. I really couldn't stomach it. It's not for me.
And anyway, Lee, you're actually too busy this week because we are very excited to announce that Lee's brand new GB News show, Lee Anderson's Real World, yep, I'll take some copyright for that, starts tomorrow night. Filming tomorrow and being broadcast every Friday from 7 p.m. only on GB News. So, Lee, this show has been a long time in the making. What can we expect?
We can expect a sudden influx, Dan, of common sense, not just in this neck of the woods, but around the country, getting out and about in the pubs, in the streets, all over the country, talking to real people about real issues. We can talk to politicians all day long, but real people that watch this programme or watch GB News want to see real people speaking.
Oh, my goodness, I can't wait. OK, so 7 o'clock, Friday night. If you're not in the pub yourself, you can be with Lee Anderson, right, having a sort of drink.
What a great start to the weekend.
At home on the couch.
Yes,
no,
indeed.
I love that idea. Lee, good luck.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to watch it.